Good afternoon, John McLaughlin here again. It's the 16th of June, just gone 1300 for another session on gold. As you can see from here, we've got both the 15-minute and the 5-minute time frame open. Yesterday, as I mentioned, as I've well documented, the trade was a losing trade, not because of the strategy, but because of my my lack of checking the news. So are we going to forget to check the news today? No, we're not. So let's just go into the 15-minute time frame, and we're going to take off. See this this imbalance here. I'm going to take this off because that's all gone now. We've still got the moving averages on. So let's go and put the box on. So we want the box, just a box in your tools, 1300 to 1500. That's the area that we're interested in, and we're going to just remove the extensions on here. And we're going to put trend lines on. So all I do with this is just put the trend lines on ready, put them on there, and the trend lines then get attached properly at 1315. They say 90% of all success in trading is psychology. If you've lost trades by chasing trades, over-leveraging or second-guessing your strategy, then you are acting from your emotional brain. The part of your brain called the monkey brain. It makes you act without thinking and then calls you names for losing. Access my brand new resource, Teaching the Monkey to Trade. This training is designed to improve consistency and results, teaching you proven NLP techniques. You'll also get access to an exclusive interview with trader and master NLP practitioner about learning 90% of what it takes to succeed. Get free access to the resource and interview by clicking the direct link in the description below. Alright, so that's the preparations done on the 15-minute time frame on gold. So let's just go and have a look and see what the market has done. So you remember yesterday that we thought it would go for a down, it would go bearish as we call it, so down for the sell, and that's what it did. But obviously I didn't look at the news, and this green candle was an effect of the news before it then came down all the way down there for the sell. So you know, if you'd have got in somewhere around here, then there was a potential, it was a 167 pip move, and then it kind of went backwards as well. So if you look at here, there was a lots of imbalance. And what I'm going to be doing as well is, because I'm talking about things like imbalance, I'm talking about moving averages, and I appreciate that not everyone understands, not everybody was born with the knowledge what imbalance and these moving averages are. So I'm going to be doing a number of different shorter trainings, just showing you about what imbalance is, how to identify it, and what it means to you in the market. So I'll be notifying you about that as well. So that'll be quite good. That'll be quite interesting. So again, lots of imbalance here, and then as it pushed to the upside, this is taking all this imbalance out. These big moves came at 1900 and 1930 yesterday evening. That's UK time. So at the moment, what we've got an area since the market opened. We've got an area, what could consider to be an area of consolidation. Then we've got a move to the upside. This move came at 8:45. Big push to the downside. So again, what's happened here? Well, it's a classic indication of market manipulation. So here you've got the consolidation. It probably just nipped. See how it's kind of respecting that line, and then if we put it a little bit lower, it's sort of teasing this line as well. So this is kind of sideways movement, and what happens is the buyers, let me get my no, there we go. So the buyers put stop losses in down here, and the sellers put stop losses in up here. Okay, right, just checking the time, 13:08, got plenty of time to chat. So during this period of consolidation, you've got buyers and sellers. The buyers are hoping the price is going to go up, and the sellers are hoping the price is going to come down, and they've got their stop losses here. So what happens is the banks go along, there's sideways movement, and then suddenly there's a push to the downside. Now the buyers then get taken out, okay? Then there's a push to the upside, and that takes out the sellers, okay, because this affects their stop loss. So this in effect gets rid of that liquidity, so the banks, the financial institutions, the big pension funds can liquidate, and then they've got then assets to put their orders in. And then as you can see, the price went up, took everybody out, and the price took a steep dive south. And that's what's happened. So where we are right now is we're at 1245 and 1300. We've had a move to the upside, because what's happened here is this big push between this candle there. Can you see that candle there? I want to zoom in a bit. Excuse me. Between that candle there and this candle at the top, just here. At the moment, it's still painting, but it's taking out that imbalance. So before this candle was formed, the imbalance was just here. Okay, so it's starting to take out this imbalance. So you can see how imbalance works. If there's a buyer, there's got to be a seller, and if there's a seller, there's got to be a buyer. And where you get imbalance, you have these zones that need to be rectified. So that's where we are right now. And again, I'm going to be talking a bit more about imbalance in future videos. So it's 1310, and what we do, we put all the alerts, all the trend lines that we put it on the 15-minute, and then we take our moves from the 5-minute, because I find it tends to be more accurate. Okay. Okay, so 1311, and we'll come back in 2-3 minutes and find out what is happening. All right, we'll go and check the news as well. We don't want to forget to do that. Okay, so MyFXBook, and you can get there by visiting myfxbook.com/Forex economic calendar, and you can see the. So this is all these ticks are all news that's already happened. We're 16th of June, as you can see, in 17 minutes we've got a whole host of USD coming up, and this is high impact news and medium impact news. So what happens in the news is it makes the markets unpredictable, because the banks hide behind that manipulation, so that they manipulate the markets and hide behind news. So the markets get manipulated, and the banks go, well, it wasn't us, it was the news, clearly. So there's a lot of news here for the US dollar in 17 minutes. So that is going to be kind of almost half past, about 25 past 1. Let's go and check another one. So Forex Factory. And it's always good to check both, because often what I find with Forex Factory is they don't have the news that MyFXBook does. So 1313. So this is all news that's happened, and again it's showing us CAD, Canadian dollar, and then quite a number of US news as well. So again, it's showing us that it's got medium impact news. It's not showing us it's got high impact news. And so what I would like to do is take my lead from the high impact news that MyFXBook is reporting. I'd rather err on the side of caution than just think, okay, we'll just take one. So high impact news, let's go with the fact. And also as well, if we said that all this news was low impact, because it's bundling a lot of news together, it would still potentially move the markets and open it up for manipulation. So what time is that news coming up? That news is coming up at 13:30. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen at 13:30. And as always, I'd like to put a little bit of a line on here. 13:30, and again, TradingView gives you the indicator to say, look, this is news, got a little red ring around it. to say that there's high impact news coming up. So currently 13:14. Let me just check the actual time. 13:14. 40 odd seconds to go. So what we want to be doing is, you can see how this has wicked to the top and the bottom. Okay, this candle here has wicked. And if we just take this off, look. Candle has wicked just up to here, and there's no wick on the bottom, so the new candle is just about to form. Let me just take that. That's better. Right, so we put the trend line on the highest high. So where's the next high from this? These all go low, the next high is up here. So we're going to put the trend line there. We're going to put a magnet tool on. That'll snap to it, make it more accurate. Whilst the magnet tool's on, we're going to put this one on. And this, where's the lower low from here? Well, the next one along is this one. This is the lower low. And take the magnet tool off, get the trend line, and because there's no wick, we're going to put it through the center of the candle or thereabouts. Okay, and with the green trend line, we're going to put it on top of the wick. There we are, just on top of the wick there. So that's it. That's a trend line set. That's our box done. We've got our area of imbalance, which is going to be interesting. So what we're waiting for is, we know the imbalance is about the price needs to go back and correct this imbalance from up here. When is it going to correct it? We don't know. Okay, we're just guessing. If I said it's going to correct in 10 minutes, then that wouldn't be correct. So we're waiting for the price to go above the green line. We want the PSAR, this is the little dot here, to flip, and that'll go underneath. When the PSAR goes underneath, and we also have this level here, that gives us an indication of where we can put our stop loss. Remember, you only want to lose 1% of your account, don't go any more than 1%. And in terms of our indicators, we're also looking for our indicators, we're also looking for a ninja up alert on there as well. Alright, so we've got those set. We're now going to go to the 5 minute, and we're going to take all our information from the 5 minute time frame, and here we are. And what you sometimes find with these, and it gives you confidence, is when you put these trend lines on, if the price starts to respect the line, which it should do if you've got them in the right place, then that gives you more confidence about your strategy. Okay. So we're going to sit and wait. So in terms of the stochastic, remember the oscillator, that gives us a lagging indicator. It tells us what has happened. It's not a predictor. But that at the moment for the 5 minute is in the extreme, which means it's been overbought. So price is looking possibly to go down. But for this price to move, what we need, now remember I said on the 15 minute the PSAR was at the top, on the 5 minute the PSAR is underneath, which means it's still in the wrong position for a sell. So the PSAR needs to flip, this price needs to come all the way down to here. Excuse me. It then needs to flip to the top. God shit. Needs to flip to the top, and then we need the ninja down indicator to push down, and the price also needs to be below this red line to go for a sell. So is it nearer to a sell or is it nearer to a buy right now? Well, it's nearer to a buy. Okay, that doesn't really mean anything. And we've still got this area of imbalance, so we've still got to take this out. When it's going to take it out, we don't know. But we'll wait and see what happens. Remember, we've got this news coming up So based on the news, what normally happens, you normally get an area of consolidation before the news hits, and then the markets will go in one way, one direction or another because of that news and because of the way the markets get manipulated. So we'll just see what happens. We'll be patient, we'll sit, we'll see what happens, and in the meantime we'll get our MT4 open. There we go, MT4 open. Because we're taking trades on the 5 minute, we're going to be doing it on the 5 minute, and as you can see it's going up. So we've got a ninja up here. Okay, this is going up. I think we'll be good to get into the buy. When you see a new candle forming and you see it do that, bearing in mind this is the first minute of that candle, sometimes it will shoot in a direction and your ears will prick up and you think, well, maybe I should get in right now. And what I found is if you just leave the candle a little bit until it kind of settles down, when it's a new candle, it's kind of like a new puppy, you know, it kind of jumps around and it's quite excited, and then it kind of settles down a little bit. And sometimes just based on that particular price action of how the new candle is forming can dictate whether you do or don't get into a trade, just based on the way it's moving. And as you can see, we've got the ninja up, we've got the PSAR below the price. The price went above the trend line. Well, because it kind of went a little bit erratic, I thought just leave it just a little bit, just to see what happens. I think it's always better to err on the side of caution rather than jump in a trade and then flat because you go into drawdown. So I've got 3 minutes and 10 seconds left on this time frame. So the yellow moving average is a 5 moving average, and when it's below the price, then it would indicate that it's good for a buy. And also the blue moving average, here is the 200, and this could also act like a magnet. So price might want to go up to here. So number one, it would take out this imbalance, the majority of it, and number two, it's also being attracted to this area. But at the moment, what's it doing on the red timeline? So on the red moving average is the 50 moving average, which is the average of the last 50 candles based on this time frame, and you can see our price is just respecting that line. So again, 2 minutes left on this time frame. Let's see how things go. Again, there may well be a period of consolidation until we get to this blue line, which is where the news is, and price could do anything. It could go in any direction. So stochastic right now is into the extreme. As you can see on there, we've got a little cross. So the buyers were in control because the blue line was on top. Blue line has then tailed off a little bit. It's crossed a wee bit, and now you've got the sellers in control because it's slightly up. But again, you know, the stochastic is a lagging indicator, so it's not a predictor. It doesn't tell us what's going to happen. It just tells what's happened, but it's just adding those additional little points of confirmation, those probability stacks of looking at the trade, looking at the price, looking at price action, looking at what's on the chart, and seeing where we go. And again, keeping things really simple. If the price goes above the green line, then we get in for the buy. And also if there's a ninja up, which there already is, and if the price goes below the red line, then we can consider getting in for the sell. Remember, today, lots of news coming up in another 5 minutes. So this is the start of the next 5 minute time frame. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait until this news hits at 13:30, see what's going to happen. With there being so much news, I think it would be prudent to wait, see what's going to happen. We know from the past we're only going for 10 pips, so we can get our 10 pips at many different opportunities. If you're going to go for the big, you know, 100, 200, 300 pip moves, there aren't many of those. Okay, but certainly we can adjust the lot size accordingly and go for 10 pips and achieve our targets, many different times during these time frames. So there's no rush, there's no panic, there's no stress, and let's just wait and see what happens at 13:30. So what are these candles telling me right now? And it's telling me that it's in consolidation. It's telling me that the market is in indecision about what it wants to do. And I would imagine, because the majority of people looking at these have checked the news, they know that news is coming up, so they're kind of a little bit cautious. Let's just see what's happening before the news kicks in. And you can see there's not much volume at the moment. These small candles, these small little doji candles with a big wick and a small body, means there's not much going on, because I think most people are waiting to find out what's going to happen at 13:30. And that's what we're doing. Let's see what happens. Even if the price now went sharply in one direction or the other, it would be an extremely quick trade. Remember the trade that we did the other day? 15 seconds in, out, we made a 10 pips. I think at this juncture, because of the news, I think even if the price went in some direction, which I don't think it will, because everyone is looking at and waiting for that 13:30 to kick in, I wouldn't even bother taking a trade at the moment, just to keep things nice and safe. So we've got 2 minutes left, or just over 2 minutes left on both time frames. So the 5 minute and the 15 minute are going to repaint, and that will bring us to 13:30. So what you've got now, you can see where price is. It's at a crossroads. Price is going to do one thing or another. It's going to shoot up or it's going to shoot down. So where do we think price is going to go? Where can we guess price is going to go? Well, based on the imbalance, it could go up. We're not going to predict anything today. It could go up, it could go down. I'm going to hedge a guess at it going up because of the imbalance, because of the moving average of where they are. So we're currently 20 seconds left for this time frame. Yeah, I thought it would do that. So it shot up. We're going to give it a couple of minutes, or a couple of seconds probably. And again, it's a little bit excitable. What's happening? Okay, so I'm in for the buy. Okay, so we're just gone into profits just slightly. Right, there we go. 14 pips. And one thing I'm going to show you as well as the showing you more detailed how to put the imbalance on and looking at the moving averages, is also looking at some software I mentioned before called the exit manager. So where you can take out a percentage of your pips, and then the software, it's EA software, will keep you in the trade for the remainder of your pips. As you can see there, it's taken out that imbalance and it's just shot up, as I thought it probably would. And again, just a good job. Look at the way it's going now. Just a good job that we check the news, and that's what it's all about. Look at the way it's shooting now. Not only is it taking out this imbalance, but I can guarantee it's also going to create its own imbalance because of this move, and then you'll find it'll want to go to the downside. So big move. As you can see with the stochastic, I always say it's great to look at these things, but the stochastic is a lagging indicator. And as you can see, it went to the extreme, and some people would say it's at the extreme, it's got to go down. And price hasn't got to do anything, it'll do whatever it wants. And as you can see, it's snake along in the extreme, and it can do that for several hours, and it has done in the past. Not just with gold, but any sort of currency that, or any instrument that you trade can do that. Gold will do its own thing, and as you can see right now, what's happened is the markets have been well manipulated, but we saw that coming. We understood the consolidation, and we knew where the imbalance was. The moving averages, I said the blue moving average, the 200 moving average, and also the 800, the grey one just above it, acted like magnets, and price just went, right, I'm off. See you later. And we've done okay on that. And if you just notice there, with the yellow moving average, it's shooting up because of the price. So this move right now on this other 5 minute candle, where we are here. So that moved 81 pips in about 3 minutes. We're now, what we're on now, on yeah, about 3 minutes. And you know, generally it takes $10 million to move a position 1 pip on average. You know, it's not entirely accurate, but that's about right. So you can see what volume has been put into the market based on this news and the financial institutions putting their positions in and manipulating the markets behind the news. You know, when I first heard about manipulation, I just thought, oh, that's awful. You know, they're manipulating the markets and taking people like us out the markets, but using our money to do it, our money that we've got in the banks. And when you realise how finance kind of works with the banks and how they need to make their money, you understand that they need to manipulate the markets. They just, the way it goes, I mean, it's just, they need to liquidate people's positions to have that liquidity to then put the orders in for their customers and clients. And if you know how it works, then you can work it to your advantage as well. So looking at this, we know if we're going to go for the sell, we know that price is going to come all the way back down to hit that PSAR, and that is a long move. That's an even longer move than the buy. What would be my position right now? My position right now, close everything up. We've taken profits for the day, and that's it. Thanks very much. If you're someone who wants to take more profits, then yeah, stay with it. Stay with it and take more. But for me, 10 pips a day is fine, and that's 1.5 days worth of profits. Okay, so right now it's 13:39. We've been on just over 35 minutes. We'll come back a bit later just to see what's been happening and how this 2 hour trading period plays out. So we'll back shortly.